What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that everybody is having a wonderful weekend. It's Friday and things are official. Kandi Burress and Todd Tucker are officially divorcing after 11 years of marriage. I know somewhere Mama Joyce is probably either doing the Birdman hands or rubbing her feet together. Aunt Bertha, she already called it. She said it was a scheme, y'all, a scheme that Todd had set up to come to us with the BS. Let's get into this article from People because Kandi made a statement, made things official. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kandi Burress and her producer husband have been married since April of 2014. Kandi Burress and Todd Tucker are going their separate ways after 11 years of marriage. Kandi says, after deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect, Burress tells People in an exclusive statement. She says, I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work. Y'all know Kandi can earn a coin, child. My family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. Burress, who's 49, and her producer husband Tucker, who's 52, met while filming the fourth season of Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2011 and announced their engagement in January of 2013. They tied the knot the following year in April. Since then, the pair have welcomed two children, son Ace, who's 9, and daughter Blaze, who's 5. Both also have children from previous relationships. Burress's daughter Riley, who's 23, and Tucker's daughter Kayla, who's 29. In October 2022, Burress told People that the secret to their happy marriage. Oh, people are so shady. Shady. Y'all, People magazine, y'all are shady for this. In October 2022, Burress told People that the secret to their happy marriage was just great communication and having fun together. People, y'all know y'all damn wrong for putting this in here when Kandi is announcing her divorce. And she came to you with the exclusive statement. Woo, whoever the People magazine editors are, they are shady boots. She says, we have a real understanding of each other. The pair have also teamed up professionally on a variety of projects, a soul food restaurant chain in Georgia, a trucking company, and a Bravo series about their family. And the restaurant business are just a few of their collaborations. On November 14th, Burress was also awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at Bravo Con in 2025 in Las Vegas, and she thanked Tucker in her acceptance speech. She says to Todd, thank you for surviving the blogs, the shade, the rumors, the lies, the truth, the almost fights, the actual fights, the reunions. You earned this award too. Well, that was sweet because that was recent. The singer-songwriter made her Broadway debut in Chicago in 2018 and will make her Broadway return on December 11th, starring in Juliet, which will run through March 8th. She's built an impressive resume as a theater producer. She earned a Tony Award nomination for The Piano Lesson and produced acclaimed revivals such as The Wiz, Thoughts of a Colored Man, and last season's Othello, led by Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal. Burress previously shared with People that the former couple's careers ambitions were quite aligned. She says, we have intertwined our wants and our desires. We have all these dreams, and sometimes I'll be all out of the box, but he'll still be like, it's okay, babe, let's do it. In honor of their 8th wedding anniversary in March of 2022, the reality star shared a video montage featuring photos of her and Tucker together, set to her song Forever Love, featuring Q Parker. The images were captured throughout the years and included the couple smiling with their marriage license, as well as together at a NASDAQ event on the red carpet. We got that forever kind of love. Happy anniversary, my love. At Todd167, she captioned the clip. You were the perfect man for me. I'm a better me with you. 8 years down and a lifetime ago. Tucker opted to post a photo slideshow of the couple and echoed his wife's sentiments about their everlasting romance. 8 years of blessings. God is so amazing. He makes no mistakes. We have a forever kind of love, he wrote in the caption. I look forward to our future lifetime of love. Happy anniversary to my amazing wife. At Kandi, I love you. Okay, I'm sorry. That line, that the whole article from People, to be honest, is kind of shady because I can't remember another couple who was announcing their divorce where they wrote that in there or talked about their past, post of expressions of love on Instagram. So whoever this editor is, I don't know if they have some kind of animosity towards Shady or what, or Kandi or what, but it's Shady Boots. Okay. With that being said, it is unfortunate. You hate to see couples break up. They do have two children together, and for whatever reason, right? Mama Joyce did not like Todd. She always said that he was trying to, go after Candy's money and go after her clout chaser, essentially. Because nobody had really even heard of Todd. At least I didn't. I've never heard of Todd Tucker before he got with Kandi. Of course, we all were introduced to Kandi, most of us anyway, when she was in Escape. She joined so young. I think she was like 14. I know they were all in high school, but I think the Scott sisters, or at least Tasha, was a senior. She was 18, and then Kandi was the baby of the group. But yeah, it's unfortunate, I mean, Todd. I'm just gonna say it. I mean, looking throughout the seasons, the only husband I really felt like was 100%, you know, um, down for his wife and truly in love with his wife on Housewives. I mean, on Atlanta, was Greg. May he rest in peace. And even Nene, and Greg broke up for a season, and they came back together and remarried. And I think it was because Greg cheated, if I'm not mistaken. That was so long ago. Like I said, may he rest peacefully, but he always had Nene's back. He was always behind her at the reunions. And not to say that Todd wasn't, but I feel like Todd may have been intimidated by Kandi's success. I feel like things probably started to go south, and I'm just speculating here, but when like the restaurant business, because that was Todd's passion project, but I think those restaurants, they had a bit of trouble. They had some bad reviews. What did Sheree say? She was like, well, you don't know if you're gonna get biscuits or papaws, the B word. I can't say it on YouTube, but that was back when Sheree and Kandi were going back and forth with her joggers lines, right? Joggers, spring, September, summer. Shout out to Sheree Whitfield. Bring her back. I don't like the fact that they keep trying to feature Kim Zolciak. I'd rather have Sheree, and I know Sheree has come back and come back and forth, child, more than Aaliyah. May she rest in peace too. But I'm like, bring back Sheree Whitfield or somebody, or even Nene. I think that the producer said, and that's a whole recession indicator, child. But bring back Nene Leakes, anybody before Kim Zolciak, who again, was still in labor and profits from Kandi with the whole tardy for the party mess. I just feel like, unfortunately, for Kandi, when you're so successful, so young, right? Like I said, we were introduced to Escape when they were in high school. And then when Tasha wanted to break out and do her, Diana Ross / Michael Jackson / Beyonce endeavors, but she wasn't half as successful as they were, right? When they were breaking out from, it was more like I can't even say a Justin Timberlake because he was successful. I don't know. She wanted to do her own thing as a lead singer. So she left Escape and then Kandi and Tiny started songwriting for TLC, Pink, and all these other uh, artists, and that's where the publishing and the royalty checks started rolling in. That's when I feel like people they really just started coming for Kandi. Whether it was, like I said, Kim, trying to siphon off of her talent and not giving her the songwriting royalties that she earned for Tardy for the Party. Or I know, Nene came in when she joined. She was real intimidated by Kandi. And she came at Kandi until Kandi, even though, like she said, she's small, but she stood her ground and went toe to toe with Nene until Nene had to respect it and she backed off eventually. But I feel like Todd was one of those people who he might have loved Kandi, but I ultimately feel like because his restaurants weren't as successful as her, he didn't have maybe her business acumen. Like now she's pivoted to Broadway. She did like The Shy. Like I said, Kandi knows how to create value and to turn a coin. She just does. She's a great businesswoman. And Todd, I think wasn't he like the cameraman when they met during the fourth season? They met when they were in Africa, and I think he was part of the camera crew. Um, for whatever reason, he didn't invest. Like I feel like if he would have maybe gone to like school and took some business classes and learned, or hospitality management courses, and learned how to better run a restaurant, because coming from the media space or even being a cameraman to trying to be a whole restaurateur, that's a completely different skill set. And so just because Kandi is one of those rare diamonds who can, I think she's like close to an EGOT. Like she, has a Tony. I think she has an Emmy, if I believe. I don't know. But I know that she has a business sense. She's a businesswoman and a business acumen that a lot of people really can't touch, because she doesn't, dabble in illegal substances. We don't hear her out here in these streets, except she'll even turn a scandal, right? The whole dungeon thing into a line. She did a whole dungeon series, right? She took it on the road and she started selling, toy bedroom candy. I think was successful. She has her own YouTube channel. She has Candy Coated Nights. Kandi is a very hardworking individual. And I don't know if Todd was just, he either couldn't keep up with her work ethic or he was intimidated by her business sense. Um, but whatever it is, because I rarely ever see Todd like I see Kandi. Like one thing I can say is she stays relevant. She stays working from her for her to go from music to songwriting to Broadway to opening a business with her husband, and I feel like that was all she had to do was focus on those restaurants, right? And it's like she was handling everything else. She was doing housewives. She was doing she was what I'm saying, having kids via surrogate, mind you, but still having kids, making holding Riley down while she was in New York doing her thing. She had The Shy going on. She was still doing Bedroom Candy, her dungeon series, her the movies on, was it Lifetime, whatever movies that they were doing. They had their movies going on. And so when the trouble happened with the restaurants, I'm sure she was probably looking at Todd like, you literally had one job. Like Kandi has her hands in so many different projects, and I feel like almost everything that she touches turns to gold. And for Todd to not be successful with, just this one business venture, it's a bit, disappointing in a way. Not that I, know either of these people, but I'm just saying as an outsider looking in and from observing them over these past few years, if you have somebody, a partner, right, excuse me, who is juggling all these different things, right? Motherhood, being a wife, being a businesswoman, having a YouTube channel, having Candy Coated Nights, her bedroom candy. being in music, being in, she was going on tour with Escape. She was, acting in The Shy. She was doing, all these different plays on Broadway. And to be honest, I'm like, I don't know how she does it. Like, I don't know when she sleeps, but Kandi is a worker bee. Okay. And then for Todd to only have the responsibility of the restaurants, not to say that running restaurants, is necessarily easy, but it's not as multifaceted as all of these different projects that Kandi was doing. And then for him to, all these pictures would come out with these different women allegedly. I saw the pictures of, him with the strippers on his Instagram and stuff a couple weeks ago, but it's just like, it's not a good look, because while she's over here working, making sure that she's creating generational wealth for all of their children, he's, you know, messing or taking pictures with strippers and having issues with the restaurant. It's just, I don't know. I wish them all the best. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section as they go their separate ways. Do you think the Mama Joyce was right? Do you think that Bertha, she said it was a scheme that Todd set up for the BS? Either way, it's not Kandi's problem anymore. She dropped Housewives, she dropped Todd. You got to keep pushing in life. Anything that doesn't bring you joy, it's 2025, almost 2026. Drop it and keep moving forward. I know that's right. Onward, Kandi, onward. I can't wait to see what other future projects she has going on. Let me know your thoughts, people. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.